Shane's been missing 230 days.
It happened too fast for him just to vanish.
Nobody's ever prepared for being in this situation.
At this point, I have no idea what happened to him.
The possibility that this guy is alive and his family's caught in limbo. I just really, really wanted to jump in there and help. And I tune in kind of through their aura of their photograph. Then visual images and other perceptions kind of start to flow in. And I saw him moving around. He's moving, but I highly suspect he's got a head injury and he's very confused.
I know he knows I love him, but I don't know that he knows who he is.
I wish I could go back, you know? I wish I could. I wish I could have told him something different. You know, I feel like a lot of times it's my fault.
Still no word from a missing Harvey man. Today marks day 4 in the search for Shane Fell.
My name is Brett Fell. Shane's my older brother. Yeah, we a little close-knit family. I was born and raised in New Orleans. A lot of aunts, uncles, cousins, and a very close family.
Shane and I are extremely close. He's a caring person, a very, very artistic person. These are his origami flowers, of course. He taught himself origami when he was 5. He started making little origami Japanese figures. He paints. He made this. I wear it. So, that's my Shane.
You know, Shane was always a very interesting person, even as a child.
He's very intelligent, funny, kind. I just consider him really one of the most significant people that's ever been in my life.
He's a pretty good guy. It's just kind of hurtful to know that your child is loved so much, but he doesn't know it.
I shoot pool on Thursday nights.
So he would go with Brett, you know, every Thursday night to play pool.
This was a night for him and I, you know, to get to spend some time together, you know, kick back a few beers.
Of course, June 9th, Brett went to play pool and Shane followed in his car with him.
We just ended up staying, I think, till approximately like 12:20. He had a little buzz to him, you know, and you know, I always ask him if he wants a ride. I asked him, of course, and he said, no, he's okay.
So Shane went his way, and he ended up on River Road. And River Road is notorious for accidents.
That part of River Road that we refer to as Dead Man's Curve, that's always been like that since I was a kid. Not a month goes by that several cars don't wreck there.
I usually always call him when I get home, or he'll call me just to let me know he's there. And I didn't hear from him, didn't think anything of it, just decided to give him a shout. He answered, and it was kind of frantic. You know, I said, Shane, where are you at? You home? He said, no. He said, I flipped my car over.
Disappearance 911, operator 6, may I help you?
Yes, I'm on River Road. There's a car turned over.
So you're at River Road, bare tires. Is anybody still in the vehicle?
The windshield wipers are still on.
Okay, I'm going to get the state police and the ambulance out there, okay?
Okay.
I knew he had been drinking. And I said, look, you had a few beers, you're going to get arrested. I'm coming to get you. I was going to go get my brother.
Brett got in the car, proceeded to get Shane. By the time he got there, the state troopers and the West Rico cop and the EMTs were all there, but Shane wasn't.
At this point, I was more concerned about where was he at.
By the time they got off the phone and the time that Brett got to the accident site, and it was a matter of like 8 to 10 minutes, and Shane was just gone.
We couldn't find him.
Nobody's ever prepared for being in this situation.
You know, my mom, I was kind of really waiting on how she would handle it. That was the hardest part for me. You know, having her the hardest part was knowing, you know, how she would take it.
Sunday afternoon, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office was searching from the air and ground.
We decided to call police and do a missing person report. Being new to this, I don't know what to expect from missing persons, but it just seemed like maybe that they felt like this happens a lot.
When adults come up missing, unless there's obvious signs of foul play, blood, or witnesses that seen someone abducted, they're not as taken as serious as missing children. And a lot of times adults decide to just don't want to be bothered, and they disappear for a while and don't tell anybody.
They had the right to leave their house and never be heard of.
The only thing possible I could think could have happened was that he heard sirens. He heard, you know, the police coming, and he wanted to get away from the scene so he didn't get arrested for driving under the influence. I'm not going to report him for certain minor infractions. The main goal here is to find Shane.
We kept going on, you know, putting the words out, posters. I was out there every day. I know my dad was, my mom was, my wife was.
You'll find hundreds of these flyers all throughout Marrero. This is 36-year-old Shane Fell.
And all the uncles and aunts and friends were out doing whatever they could, posting, wearing T-shirts.
Shane's been missing now for 230 days. The family still looks... It doesn't get any easier.
At this point, I have no idea what happened to him. I've explored every possibility in my head, ran over 1,000 times what he could have done, and we can't come up with an answer. And I hope he's out there. I really do. But it's getting harder and harder to believe that, you know, he's just gonna walk in that door.
It has been a long time, and you just can't stop. You know, in my heart, he's out there someplace, and I think somebody could help him. I can't think otherwise.
The possibility that this guy is alive and he's lost out there somewhere and his family's caught in limbo. I just really, really wanted to see if I could, you know, jump in there and help.
Hello.
How you doing? I'm Pam. Hi, nice to meet you. I am an intuitive investigator. Some people call me a psychic detective, and I specialize in missing persons cases. I tend to work with photos of the missing person, and I tune in kind of through their eyes and just the aura of their photograph. Then visual images and other perceptions kind of start to flow in, and then it helps me bring in more perceptions and get further and further kind of in touch with my target. Okay. So she asked me if I would just kind of take a look at his picture, and I saw him at the time moving around, still very much alive. You know, obviously I have some work to do while I'm here. I do feel good about this, and I feel like I just don't want you guys to lose hope. There's no way I would ever say that I'm 100% with it. It's something I take really seriously because the stakes are just too high. But in this case, I highly suspect he's got a head injury and he's very confused, and he's not sure how to contact his family. It's a tough road, but we're gonna do our very, very, very best.
Shane flipped his car. We all know that. To what extent it went bad, don't know. He might be still walking in the streets, still with memory loss. And it is true, it does happen.
I know he knows I love him, but I don't know that he knows who he is.
Field work is tricky, but what I have found is that once you establish sort of a link with the person intuitively, it's easier to kind of just jump back into it. Hey, Vic.
Hey.
Okay, I've got Shane's picture in front of me. Just help me, you know, focus in on him better.
Okay.
So the thing that's flashing in the strongest to me is railroad tracks. I actually feel like he walks along the railroad tracks. So I really feel like he's on the move. And then I see some sort of area that's got like junk, you know, like weeds, One thing that keeps flashing in, there's this colorful Mardi Gras thing.
Just remember that if he sees you because he is homeless and he doesn't know what's going on, he may venture off so that there's no interaction with you whatsoever.
Okay, well, we're gonna head out there then. So I really feel like he's on the move.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah. That's definitely been the theme, is that he's alive, he's on the move, very confused, has withdrawn a little bit more and more and more into himself the further and further this goes on.
Excuse me, sir. Looking, my brother went missing. His name's Shane. Asked him if he saw Shane, and he said he hadn't seen him. He asked if we don't go back there again so nobody knows where he's at. He doesn't want to be found.
That's definitely the kind of scenario I got.
Yeah.
What I feel like now is that he's still in his little encampment. He's tucked in somewhere. I think so. One thing that keeps flashing in, there's this colorful Mardi Gras thing. The crowd has come up in the drawings about 3 times. Somebody's been in here recently. So we found an area that's got all of my landmarks. It's kind of the place that you were thinking.
Okay.
So what I see in a distance is a industrial type. I feel like I'm looking at it across the water.
What is it about this industrial place you'll be able to recognize when you see it?
There's a cruise ship in the river.
These are his origami flowers. He taught himself origami when he was 5.
Shane knows how to make origami. I mean, that's really interesting. That doesn't seem like something every homeless person would know how to do. I mean, this definitely fits with a lot of stuff that I saw. So, I mean, this is definitely worth staking out just to see who shows up here. Determining when a missing person is dead or alive is the most difficult thing an intuitive can do. I don't want to get your hopes up, but every time I have looked at Shane's situation, he's moving. All along here is a walkway. There's an embankment that runs down towards the water, and I was continually kind of drawn down to that area. We found a site yesterday. What got me was I found a box that had straw, origami, a flower bouquet.
He did that.
Now, that's what I heard, that he knew how to make those.
I've never met another person that does origami before.
So I just think he's hunkered down, hiding somewhere in this area. I really got the area scoped out, and now, you know, it's time to bring in my partner, Vicki.
I'm Vicki Martin. I've worked with Pam for 4 years. Families going out there and looking for their lost family member breaks your heart. So Pam asked me to work with her, and I'd be more than happy to.
She's going to be able to help me really hone in on exactly where he is.
I guess we started with the locations that Pam saw in Marrera. This is insane in here.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he picked this spot, if this is his spot. What we do on a session is Pam looks at the session intuitively. As she is giving me the information, I'll take notes and I'll formulate the questions according to what she's giving me. Describe where he's going to go to sleep tonight.
It's a black car that's burned up in a field or a junkyard, or it's more like a shell of a car.
What's distinctive about this lot? Go down and walk around the car to see what else you can see around that car that'll help us find this junkyard.
Something bright blue, too. There's a blue tarp. It's draped over something. Like, there'll be, like, chain link fence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all buckled up. Like, somebody's pulled it up, you know? Like, there's an opening, and you can go back along this fence. Actually, I hear a baby crying. He's close enough to a house that I can hear a baby crying.
She's keying off of that junkyard. There's your blue tarps. I just go with what she says and just try and find whatever it is that she sees in her head. Pam described he got in some sort of way by peeled back metal fence. The car is back there, and then the place to go in is right here. She had all of these major pieces in place. We found every landmark that she drew on there. We could follow his footsteps. I think we were probably 10 minutes behind him. There's a homeless guy over here right underneath the bridge. Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to him and show him this picture.
It's been, you know, a journey. I just really felt like I was close. I just felt like he's here somewhere. He's just here somewhere.
And I saw this gentleman standing there, and he said, "I know Shane." And I said, "How do I know that you know Shane?" And he said, "Because he has the cut here." And I said, "Well, can I see him? Can I talk to him?" And he told me no. And I asked him why. And he said because he doesn't want anyone to know where he is, because he is afraid that you all will be ashamed of him. It's okay. And the gentleman said to me, he said he doesn't want to come home. And I said, "Well, could you please tell me he's okay?" And he said, "Oh yeah, he's okay, but he's just, you can tell that there is something not mentally right with him." His biggest fear was that I was going to go there and snatch him up. The thing that I would do, and I agree with Pam, is I would forge the relationship with him. You all can relate to him, that he, you know, just something, even if he has a picture. Does it seem credible? Absolutely. If he's not in the Shane mindset that you all know him as, he's in this other mindset.
No, you're still got some work to do. But I think we made a heck of a lot of progress over the last few days.
Huge.
This has been probably one of the hardest cases I've ever worked on. I was very determined and hopeful to get some answers for the family.
The outcome is the outcome. And sometimes you find what you're looking for, and sometimes you don't, but that doesn't mean that we'll stop looking.
I think there are so many things happening with Shane. It's the unknown that's what hurts these people so much, is the unknown.
Until somebody can show me otherwise, he will always be with us. Maybe not physically, but he's coming home.
There's so many things I like, to say. I want you home. And if you know anything, I give everything I got. We want our brother and son back.